This is what you need to do. Women. Right. You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but
yeah.
Superstar rap mogul Sean Diddy Combs publicly joked about locking women in his house at parties he hosted, according to resurfaced interviews from 2002. In an interview on Late Night with Conan O'Brien back in 2002, Diddy, then well known for his partying, was asked for his best hosting tips. The rapper recently pleaded not guilty to charges of racketeering and sex trafficking, and was ordered to remain in custody while awaiting trial. Combs, 54, was arrested by federal agents in New York following criminal indictment. The indictment accuses him of abusing women and coercing them into parties through threats and violence. Diddy Combs is in relatively good spirits, despite his high-profile trafficking scandal, his lawyers said, while downplaying the federal raid that uncovered 1,000 bottles of lube and baby oil in the rapper's home.
I don't think it was 1,000. I think it was a lot. I mean, there's a Costco right down the street. You know, I think Americans buy in bulk, as we know.
In a resurfaced interview, Usher also spoke about living with Diddy during his teenage years.
Is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
Rapper Usher and singer Pink have deleted all their tweets on X, and fans are linking it to Sean Diddy Combs' arrest. One fan on X commented, "Pink and Usher have wiped their X accounts clean. 42 million followers between them. Diddy is in jail, and they are terrified." There is no confirmed connection between Pink and Diddy, but fans continue to speculate online. Old videos of Justin Bieber and Sean Combs are also resurfacing, sparking renewed speculation about Bieber's past interactions with Diddy during his time as a minor. In the video, Justin was 15 and Diddy was 40. As Diddy spoke into the camera, he said,
"You know, where we hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him, you know."
Combs is being held at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, where he has been denied bail twice. He has been placed on suicide watch, but his actual mental state is unclear.
Top figures in hip-hop and Hollywood are on edge, worried they might be linked to the tapes the FBI seized from Shah Diddy's homes.
News. New celebrities are named in Diddy's list of celebs connected to his scandalous freak-off parties, from Jay-Z and Beyonce to Jennifer Lopez, Usher, and even Leonardo DiCaprio. These high-profile stars are now being linked to some of Diddy's wildest parties you've ever heard of. The thing you never heard of is there are videos and pictures leaked showing Diddy partying with A-listers like Paris Hilton, Ashton Kutcher, Howard Stern, Russell Brand, and more. With Diddy pleading not guilty to the charges, some are questioning how deep the involvement goes. Were these celebs just there for the party, or did they know what was really happening behind closed doors? People are now comparing this to the Epstein case as it keep getting intense. Well, the fact that Diddy's ex, Jennifer Lopez, and music industry powerhouses like Mariah Carey and Nick Cannon also showed up to these infamous parties has everyone on edge. Now, with more names being
There's growing anxiety about whether some will be contacted or even called to testify in the case against him.
So ever since the news broke about allegations between a relationship with Puff Sean Combs and Meek Mills, I don't know Meek Mill's real name, but if this is to be true, man, it sound like this nigga. But if it's true, bro, your career's done, son. And all we ask is for you to just stop being a tough guy. We already know you can't fight. Now, the next question is, I need to speak to your boss. You know, the $500 million man that's acting like he's the biggest hustler, grinder, he got all the money. I need to know if he was bending over too. Because you look kind of suspect too, bro. Is that why you guys got to keep wearing glasses to hide your face, man? Listen, nah, Ain't no daps. This is all allegedly, though. But for some apparent reason, it seems like everything is coming to light, man. Damn, son. Yeah, hip-hop is done.
Rapper Meek Mill isn't taking any chances. He's offered $100,000 to hire an investigative team to look into any possible connections between his name and Diddy's case. He's also interested in uncovering who's controlling the media narrative around him, hinting that something suspicious might be happening.
Justin Bieber's got more on his mind than Diddy's arrest. A source telling ET the new dad's energy is going towards wife Haley and son Jack. And he's not focused on what is going on with Diddy or the allegations against him.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled performances, which he called freak-offs.
The insider info coming after footage of Diddy and Justin resurfaced on social media. Videos showed the disgraced media mogul alongside teenage Justin, with online sleuths speculating if, at the time, he subjected the pop star to his alleged freak-offs.
The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time.
You're gonna hear about my party, they're gonna be shutting them down, they're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we wanna have a good time.
That's Diddy with ET 25 years prior to his arrest.
Hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Usher, Diddy's former protege, with Howard Stern in another resurfaced moment earlier this year, hinting Diddy's parties were too much when he, like Justin, was also underage.
I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
As for Justin and Haley, our source says they're focused on baby Jack. They've been absorbed in their own happiness and family, appreciating this time together.
Someone that you've kind of grown up with, you've mentored, Justin Bieber. How does it feel knowing that he's a father now?
Very proud. That moment is like none other. To feel that level of love and commitment and the investment of time into your child. I know who he is as a young man, and I know what fatherhood means to him and how important it is. This is an amazing chapter of his life, and I wish him nothing but well.
Meek Mill's concern isn't unfounded. His name has surfaced multiple times in connection with Diddy and Rodney Jones. Diddy's former bodyguard has even hinted at holding incriminating material that could involve the rapper.
I was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because...
Wait a minute, say that again. Say that again, back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is
yes,
new.
There already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this before, so like a catch and kill.
Catch and kill, correct.
Wow, can you, and I guess you can't reveal the person who is on
No, I
tape.
can't explain who the person was, but Mr.
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really? And you've seen it?
I've seen stills of the video.
Okay.
So
you can verify
that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video, and I can tell the video in nature.
Oh my, all right. So we know that he videotaped a lot of activities at his home, Diddy. And it sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes, this was actually in his Atlanta home, at a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so it's, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the videotaping, like they're being surreptitiously recorded it.
Mm-hmm. All right. I wanted to ask you about the police report we talked about, but when your client came out Obviously, the neighbor knew. Did she talk to her family? Did she talk to her friends? Did she have another lawyer? Let's go back to your client.
So at the time, as most rape victims are, they feel a lot of shame.
Absolutely.
And they don't want to vocalize what happened to them because then it makes it real. So they kind of internalize it and get over it. And due to the high profile nature that it was Mr. Combs who did this, she was afraid for her life. She was concerned that if she was to come forward and say something, that no one would believe her, because we're talking about 2018 when Mr.
It's no surprise that Mill is eager to get ahead of this and clear his name before the situation escalates any further. Next voice. Meek Mill isn't the only one feeling the heat. Plenty of others close to Diddy over the years are also worried they might get pulled into the situation.
Height of his career, still very much so an icon and influential figure. So she's just a young girl from Northern California who's gonna believe that he had done something to her like this. So she didn't tell anybody. She did not hire an attorney. All she did was make the police report in the hopes that maybe the police would try to investigate and come up with anything. But she said she kind of felt from the police that they were disregarding what she was saying, even without saying Mr. Combs' name. So she didn't feel any confidence that revealing his name would have done anything.
Sure. I mean, but there's a police report. Yeah. I mean, that fact in of itself is a big deal, because when you're talking about going back in time and talking about these allegations from other alleged victims, you know, there's not a lot of police reports, but you guys actually have one. And is that going to be revealed? Are we going to be able to see it?
Yes, as soon as I file my lawsuit in civil court, I will be attaching the criminal complaint that was made. I'll attach the number so everyone can see that this is a real number and can go to the police department there and request their own copy of that police report that was made back in 2018.
Well, that's going to be a huge deal when it happens, obviously, so we want to follow up on that. Did Mr. Combs have any reaction? Do you know if he was interviewed? I mean, he was named in the police report?
I don't think so. Based on what she said, she really felt that the police were trying to bury this and disregard her claims and not really investigate, which is another reason why a lot of victims don't report these things to the police. We have to address the elephant in the room is that we have victims, especially women, who go to the police, who are typically men, who don't actually investigate these things. They victim blame, they victim shame, and women don't feel safe or even protected to even make these claims because they don't think they'll be taken seriously, nor will their claims be investigated.
Right. Well, your client should be proud of herself for filing that claim and making that call and going for help, because that's a huge deal. And of course, these are allegations. We want to say that. What was it like for you when you got this phone call, when you realized what you were going to be stepping into?
After talking to her, I just wanted to protect her. I just wanted to help her. She seemed as somebody very broken by this experience. And it was very concerning for me to hear her saying these things and expressing this very deep trauma associated with what happened to her. I just wanted to make sure that, number one, she was heard and we can get her voice to the masses, and maybe Mr. Combs will actually, like right now we're starting to see, will actually face some type of consequences for what he's done.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
These aren't minor accusations. They come with serious legal risks. Many are comparing Diddy's situation to other high-profile cases that ended with long prison sentences. Turney, a defense attorney known for representing clients like Harvey Weinstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, believes Diddy could face life in prison if found guilty.
Your parties are the hottest ticket around.
They won't even give me a permit for the parties, man. They don't want me to throw the parties no more. But we ain't gonna stop. We're gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life. You're gonna hear about my parties. They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we wanna have a good time. You know, whenever you bring up a different element into people's environment, things that broaden people's horizons, people get intimidated. There's a lot of people out there that feel intimidated by it. It ain't nothing but break it down racial barriers, break it down generation barriers, people from all walks of life. Ron Perlman talking to Jay-Z, Jay-Z talking to, you know what I'm saying? It just goes on and on, you know, it's just like people from all walks of life connecting and getting together. Yeah.
Your parties are the hottest ticket in town. People dying to get into your party. How does that make you feel?
I mean, it's cool. You know, it doesn't make me feel any way special. It doesn't make me feel like a bigger person. It just makes me feel like I know how to throw a party.
This case has grown beyond just Diddy. And with so many famous names potentially tied to it, the stakes are huge. Celebrities and industry insiders are likely scrambling to distance themselves from the fallout.
Jennifer, do you think Diddy is guilty?
Among those close to Diddy, Christina Coram, known as his manipulator-in-chief, and Natalie Moore, his former or possibly still current PR chief, are also names people are keeping an eye on. They've been in his inner circle, and there's speculation about how much they know and whether they'll be called to testify.
In jail, in therapy, and under brand new scrutiny. As Diddy faces another judge today, new questions about his alleged reign of terror are coming to light. The stunning allegation from prosecutors: Diddy once forked over $46,000 to cover damages to a penthouse after one of his drug-fueled so-called freak-offs. And today there's new speculation: a woman at the center of Sean's orbit and business empire could potentially hold the key to the prosecution. She is Christina Coram, seen here with Diddy in Florida in November after he settled his rape and abuse case with ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura. Diddy posted this photo of her to Facebook saying, "Christina, aka KK, keeps everything in my life and my business running. She's my right hand." In a separate lawsuit against Combs, music producer Rodney Jones used this same photo, calling Coram the Ghislaine Maxwell to Sean Combs' Jeffrey Epstein. She was referenced 64 times in that suit.
In the federal indictment just filed against Diddy here in New York, prosecutors allege Diddy did use his employees to, quote, carry out, facilitate, and cover up his abuse and commercial.
Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff.
Christina herself was not named in this criminal indictment, but could potentially be a key witness in this case. A source told the New York Post, quote, "If anybody is a gatekeeper, Christina would know everything."
The individuals that witnessed this conduct or even helped, they should really be concerned, because if they don't cooperate, they may face the very real possibility of being charged as co-defendants.
Combs has denied every single allegation against him. Coram did not respond to our request for comment. This afternoon, a new judge upheld yesterday's decision to keep Diddy behind bars without bail. At Diddy's arraignment yesterday, his lawyer revealed,
as more details emerge, we may witness major revelations that could shift the direction of the case and pibly draw others into the spotlight.
He's been in treatment and therapy for things he needs treatment and therapy for. The question: would any of the disturbing allegations against Diddy have ever come to light if Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, had not filed her explosive lawsuit last year? It was settled just one day later. Then, just 4 months ago, another bombshell.
The surveillance video obtained by CNN.
Diddy and Cassie in a violent confrontation in 2016 at an LA hotel. Elizabeth Wagmeister here from CNN. She broke the story, including that video, months ago. What have you learned from sources since the indictment was handed down?
What I will say is the indictment is eerily similar to many of the civil suits. There's been 10 civil suits against Diddy, 9 of which directly accuse him of assault. And many of those allegations, including drugging, including the freak-offs, including blowing up Kid Cudi's car, all of these details came up in the indictment this week. And that is what I'm hearing from sources, that the accusers feel validated, their attorneys feel validated.
How long do you expect this to go?
This could be a long road ahead. Yesterday, they said that they have met with over 50 victims and or witnesses. So there's a lot of names that are going to come up here. Christina Coram, I would imagine Diddy's sons, who have been named as defendants in other lawsuits. So this investigation continues, and they are taking it very seriously.
So great to see you. Thank you for your time.
Always great to see you, Billy.
Because I know how blessed I am. If I look at it, I got it. That's how Diddy be feeling. And you gotta tell him no. I did.
The chances of Diddy avoiding a severe punishment are slim, given the weight of the accusations and the evidence that may be presented.
We're not far from where that night took place, and you've never told the details about it.
Between you and Puffy, because if I'm not mistaken, he made you give up your ownership in Bad Boy, right? And they had you in the room and they had bets and they made you give over your percentage.
Back in 2003, Combs founded Bad Boy Records and worked with a business partner named Kirk Burroughs, who served as the company's president and general manager until 1997. Burroughs owned a 25% stake in the record label, but this partnership ended after Combs allegedly threatened him with a baseball bat.
So he came into my office one day unexpected, him and Kenny Marsalis. They had it planned out. Kenny had the briefcase with all the stock certificates in it, and Diddy had the bat.
Burroughs sued Combs for $25 million, claiming that he was coerced to quit the company through threats of physical violence. Diddy, of course, denied the claims. We never got the full truth, however, as the statute of limitations had expired and the case was dismissed.
He didn't want to honor me with credit. He started erasing my names off the albums, taking me off of anything that had any history with the company.
This is allegedly a book that was co-written by Kim Porter, the ex of Diddy, who passed away.
Number 5, The Assault of Cindy Rueda.
Sean P. Diddy Combs is allegedly being sued by his former chef, Cindy Rueda, who is claiming harassment, hostile work environment, and wrongful termination.
Following his arrest, Sean Diddy Combs was held without bond at a jail that has previously been described as hell on earth. After being indicted on charges of and the hip-hop mogul was sent to the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York, the same jail that previously housed R. Kelly, who was sentenced to more than 30 years in prison for child crimes, sex trafficking, racketeering, and Ghislaine Maxwell, who was sentenced to 20 years in prison for her role in helping Jeffrey Epstein abuse young girls. The jail, which opened in 1994 and houses more than 1,200 people, has a reputation for poor conditions. According to the New York Times, the concrete structure has been troubled with bloody fights, food contamination, murder and suicides. An electrical fire once left inmates without heat in the middle of freezing temperatures. The Metropolitan Detention Center became the main prison in New York when its sister jail in Manhattan was closed in 2021 due to poor conditions. An attorney for Edwin Guerrero, an inmate who was killed in the Brooklyn Detention Center in July from injuries sustained in a fight, called the prison a, quote, overcrowded, understaffed, and neglected federal jail that is hell on earth. Judge Robin Tarnowski denied Diddy bail in his hearing case, ordering him to stay behind bars until his trial began.